We will stick with the presentations. Michael Fitzgerald, our regular man from the VAFA Footy Show, is going to lead proceedings here as the teams line up opposite each other.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome to Sports Cover Arena for our Sunday main event, the clash between the states. Firstly, please welcome our running the boundary, Robert Taylor and David McNamara. With the flags, Frank de Cosmo and Stephen Dower. And the men in charge, Matthew Tessier, Shane McIntosh and Tim Sutcliffe. This will be a contest over 4 20-minute quarters plus time on with full AFL rules. And now our team. On my right, in the traditional Two Blues of New South Wales, wearing the dark trunks, coached by Lee Forsyth and captained by Declan Donahue, please welcome our visitors from the north, AFL Sydney. And in the white trunks with a navy Guernsey, bearing the big white V, coached by Dean Anderson and captained by Benny Dowd, your VAFA team. Now, ladies and gentlemen, please stand, remove your headwear, and welcome to the microphone Miss Matilda Shelley to sing our national anthem.
Michael Fitzgerald, wow, Ken, he's fired them all up now. Wonderful introduction as the two captains shake hands in the middle. We wait for the toss of the coin.
No doubt about him, Joe.
Benny Dowd has won the toss slightly, who will get to the Glen Huntly Road end to begin proceeding.
That was it, and Benny Dowd has won the toss for the amateurs, who will kick to the Glen Huntly Road end of Elsternwick Park. Great presentation, great anthem. We're ready to go, Damian.
Yes, well, that anthem always gets the hairs on the back of your neck standing, whether it be the VAFA representative game or the AFL Grand Final. It's just fantastic to hear.
And we've got a sign sticking out the other side of the ground. I can't quite read it, but someone's Marto's got his own stand out on the outer side of the ground. So plenty of supporters lining around. I know there's plenty sitting in their cars too, Damian, on a cold day like this.
That might be in reference to the VAFA Guy Martin, maybe. So he's got his own stand out there. He's done a little cheer squad.
So players now making their way to their positions. It should be fast and furious start, you expect, Ken?
Well, I would expect it. This is a senior match, isn't it? Like, you would expect it to be very similar to what we see Saturday with Premier games that we go to. Fast and furious is the name of it.
And Dean Anderson, I think it was Dean Anderson who mentioned yesterday on the VAFA Footy Show that it has the feel of a final, that kind of pace, particularly early.
It's a great atmosphere and there's a good crowd there, but I don't think they can fit any more cars in, so that's an excellent sign, and I'm sure they'll all be listening into the broadcast. If you are, flash your lights. Let us know.
So you'll be listening to us on 96.5 Inner FM or streaming us on the web at www.innerfm.org.au.
And I must say that Michael Fitzgerald appears here at these functions courtesy of 96.5 Inner FM, where we are now a regular for Saturday morning. You'll love that. I think it works the other way around, actually.
So the umpire's ready to ball it up. It's the big man in the ruck. It's going to be Shaw for AFL at Sydney. And Luke Wintle for the Amateurs. It's Shaw who wins it down the middle, but Wintle picks it up off the decks, tackled straight away. And it's going nowhere, so the umpire will come in for a secondary bounce. We might see that a few times in the middle this afternoon. He's going to ball it up, obviously in the mud. Again, Shaw wins it down, no clear takeaway. Players slipping over. Now they're on the edge, and they can go forward through Linson. Quick kick. Oh, body's willing. With great courage, backing back with Zimbarks. Took a fantastic mark for the Vicks. And they move it along the wing here. Good kick out in front of Farty. And old Essendon, right on the paint of the big V. Kicks it wide. Boundary's probably going to beat the ball, and it does, just in front of the coaching box for AFL Sydney. The light blue strip this afternoon with the dark shorts. Ball thrown in again at Shaw, and Wintle goes over the back. Looking to get the takeaway. Sydney are looking for the free kick with Strudwick, and he's been paid it for holding the man. He didn't have the footy. Dowd making it difficult for him to pick the ball up, but finally Strudwick with the mop of blonde curly hair will just poke it over the top along the line and finds Wotton Noonan. So on the wing just in front of us, keeps it very low, finds his teammate, the diving chest mark taken by Keel. A minute and a half gone, no score again. Sydney go very low near the boundary line. Ball can't be taken. It is very near the boundary line, almost getting stomped on was Tommy Simpson. But it's gone over the line. The umpire very quickly looking to throw it in over his head. Just enough time for the big man to get ready. Wintle over the back taps it down. In dispute, tunneling towards the boundary line. One-on-one football, sliding in was Absalom. And it's over the boundary line in front of the Vic bench.
Andrew travelled 1 minute 50 into the first quarter. The umpire throws it all back in. In front position there was Wintle. Got the tap down at the back. Players coming through there was Lowe. Kicks it off the ground. And will go over the boundary line, and we'll have another boundary throwing just in front of the interchange gates.
So we'll start off just like we'd expect, hard and tough, both sides hard at the ball.
Umpire throws the ball back in. In front position there was Shaw. Got the tap down to the player in Dowd. In Bryan for AFL Sydney. Wintle there, picked the ball up, was dispossessed. Coming through there was the VAFA in Strachan. Got the handball, the AFL Sydney regain it. Left foot kick by Bowles towards half forward. In the lead there for AFL Sydney is the player in Matt Withers, and he sees over the boundary line in front of the VAFA coach's box. Travel 2.5 minutes into the opening quarter here. No scorers yet. Flying high over the top was Wintle, got the tap down, but in the direction of the AFL Sydney goal. Wintle there gets the handball over the top to Ben Dowd, pushing the back, sent the umpire, and it'll be a free kick at half back for the AFL.
Surprised it wasn't downfield, Kim,
Well,
but I guess it was as he kicked it.
Yeah, I was going to say the same thing. Well, to me it looked like after he kicked the ball, the umpire makes that decision. You abide by it, of course.
Dowd at half back. He spots up a player in Maloney. Couldn't take the mark, and he's been beaten there by Vladko. Jamie Vladko, 60 metres out from goal. Decides to go inside 50. Flying high over the top. Lovely mark there. And the player there, the AFL Sydney, just wait for him to get up and turn around. And it's Alex Lee who's taken a fantastic mark, flying high over the top, 35 metres out. Slight angle looking towards the scoreboard end of the ground here at Sports Cover Arena. Alex Lee, the first score of the game. Lining up on the left foot. Looks fantastic off the boot, and he's kicked the first goal for the game for AFL Sydney. They go to 1-6. The VAFA yet to score. We travelled 4 minutes into the opening quarter for Sky High Mount Dandenong.
Well, that was a terrific mark for two reasons. I mean, it came from behind. It was strong enough to force its way eventually to the front. It took it one grab and cleansed the whistle. A beautiful mark and a great kick. So it's a flying start for Sydney with the goal on the board in the first 4 minutes of the game.
So the cover-up canvas product scoreboard reads AFL Sydney 1 straight 6 points. The Amateurs yet to score. Shaw wins the tap down, but in the middle it's Wintle. In the middle. That was Middle and Wintle together. The Vicks come away with it on the wing. A scrubby left foot kick going forward. No mark can be taken, or body's diving in hard. Boot and Noonan did well. Still on the bottom of the pack. And the umpire come in to board up. Centre half forward half-forward flank, I should say, for the amateurs. Kicking it to the Glen Huntly Road end of Elsternwick Park. Shaw paddles it down. Well done to Linson. Tries to get the hands off. Finally does. They'll get a kick along the wing. Very close to the boundary line. And over the boundary line. Goes out on the foot. And the free kick will be taken by McQueen McCampbell.
We should circuit that name.
Now the umpire's making him go right back over his mark. A little bit of a stoppage. His opponent today, Matt Withers, has got a bit of sizing, so he'll probably have a task to do. Oh, strong leading out. And good mark. Well done by Boundy.
It's the local board.
Kicks it high over the head of who he was aiming for, his teammate in Locock. And AFL Sydney, have a kick for the middle. Pinpointed Edwards. They're on the half-back line. They'll kick to the outer side of the ground. Have a couple runners, but the ball will hit the deck in front of Absalom. Will need to chase hard toward the boundary line. Tries to help his teammate. It's 2-on-2. Let's dive in on it. Somehow the ball slings free, and the umpire has found a free kick. Going in AFL Sydney's direction. It might have been for a push in the back on the outer side of the ground. So AFL Sydney on the half-back flank, outer side of Elsternwick Park. Just bang it long. Pack will fly over the back. And the big punch comes away from the big ends up in the hands of Strawn, who bangs it back from when it came, finds McQueen McCampbell, who kicks it wide up. He was good running. And Strawn has taken the mark. Now the mark is a metre inside the 50, so he just decides to hit up for the hot spot, looking for Boundy. He's got the run at it. Couldn't quite come down with it, but off the pack. It falls to Williams, scrubbed at goal, but it's being cleaned up by AFL Sydney, and they look to clear through Strudwick on the outer side of the ground. Has a couple of chips too. Gives it to Sylvester, who just takes a bounce. Is at the interchange gate, looking for a target. It'll be chopped off. The help and a punch coming across from Zimbabwe, and it's out of bounds.
A bit disappointing there for Williams to kick up this end just a couple of seconds ago before that piece of play, because he had plenty of time to clear whoever was in the square. Elected to kick along the ground.
Umpire throws the ball back in. Rucks go at it. Punch down there by Wintle, but only in the direction of Sylvester for AFL Sydney. On the half-back line for VAFA. They go out to half-back, but it's a ill-directed kick and a taken mark by Sam Price on the 50 for AFL Sydney. Just pop that off there. Handballs it off to Wright, who goes long to the goal square. Packet plays 4 minutes off hands, one behind. AFL Sydney go to 1-1-7. VAFA yet to score on the cover-up Canvas product scoreboard. We've just travelled 7.5 minutes into the opening quarter for Sky Harm Mount Damian.
Must be very precise with those short passes, but particularly from the back line. And I think if there's any doubt that you can't hit the spot, that you've really got to sink your foot into the ball and get a bit of yardage heading towards your goal. It's turnovers happen a lot in this style of football, so if you're not absolutely sure of pinpointing it, you should go for a long kick in my opinion.
Bolden with the kicking out duties for the VAFA. Shocking kick off the boot. Clint bowls a couple. Sees over the boundary line by Jeremy Hill for the AFL Sydney, and we'll have a boundary throw in right half forward for the AFL Sydney. Umpire throws the ball back in. Winchell gets front position, gets a tap down. In pursuit there was Simpson. Dispossessed, went back and got it. He tackled, umpires picked out a free kick for over the shoulder, and it's going to Simpson in the back pocket.
He's a real goer, Tommy Simpson. Plenty of him in the past.
Goes short to the half-back line, refines Luke Wintle. In front of the scoreboard here at Sports Cover Arena. Just decides to play kick to kick and goes back to the full-back position. AFA just looking for a way out of defence. Marked there by Paul Wintle with the long sleeves on, slips over at the crucial stage, regains his composure, gets a handball off half-back here. Handball there by his in-backs. Sweeping handball there it was. Kick inside the centre square. Running there is Simpson again. Grant Bolden it was. Tackle there by the AFL City. They get the ball in the middle of the ground. Kick there. Player in. Handball there. I can't tell who it is.
Goes along to the square, no one can take the mark. It's off hands, it's still in play, and AFL Sydney will look to clear on the last line of defence. The pressure has been immense so far. Strudwick gets the hands off, they kick along the line. Shaw needs to stand strong, and he did.
And he's been paid the mark in the end. I thought it was a bit interesting. Perhaps a free kick could have sufficed, but the umpire's given him the ball anyway, so it probably works out fairly. He goes short, finds his teammate Donahue, the captain. A wobbly kick. Mark could be taken by Crichton, and the ball hits the deck in the middle. Aegis gets hand off to Simpson with a little bit of a run and then drags the ball along the ground. They've still got it somehow going forward. Tyquin, a wobbler. The man he was after slipped over, and AFL Sydney, well, they should give, but a great tackle. Being paid for holding the ball, trying to slip it onto his boot, and couldn't get the job done.
That was a super tackle, Judd. I mean, the danger that you've got when you're tackling a bloke in that situation is you've got to grab him dead right, otherwise you give the kick away. The correct tackle between the shoulder and the hips and pull him down to the ground. Excellent piece of play from Andrew Laycock there.
So Laycock has a chance to put something on the scoreboard for the Ammos. They've trailed 1-1-7. AFL Sydney looks good off the boot. He's happy with it. Fantastic shot by Laycock after a sensational tackle. So the Amateurs, 1-3-kick-6, trail AFL Sydney by a point, who are 1-1-7. We've ticked over 11 minutes in the first term, brought to you by Sky High Mount Damian Kent. AFL Sydney putting on a lot of pressure, and the Vics, well, they'll probably be lucky to get it down there.
Well, you're right, but it's good signs, isn't it, for a game that we expect to go down to the wide, whether one way or the other. And I mean, certainly the pressure in this quarter has been exceptional from both sides, tackling very strong and hard at the ball.
Back in the centre of the ground, Winslow flies high. Lilly got it down there, but kick away for the AFA. Long kick inside 50, pack forms, off hands. Tackle. There by Donahue there. Got the handball at the bottom of the pack. Tackled there. The play was Jeremy Kill for AFL Sydney. Dowd there, met heavily with Ben Dowd. Boundy with the ball now. Swings onto the left foot, goes towards the goal square. And it's the mark being taken there by Daniel Flaherty. The AFA.
Yes, Flaherty, that's him. Well done from big fella Boundy there, who, whilst he looked a bit awkward in getting the foot to the ball, it had the desired result, popped it up in the air.
Flaherty kicks, and he's kicked truly for the VAFA's second goal of the afternoon. They go to 2 straight 12. AFL Sydney 1-1-7. That's in cover up Canberra's product scoreboard, who travelled 12.5 minutes into the first quarter.
Well, the advantage that the VAFA got right at the start there was from the centre of the ground. They seemed to have been breaking away in the centre, even in this early part of the game. It got most of the ball out of the centre. Always a very important part, because that's where the game starts. If you get first crack at it, done it very well in this early part of the game. Of course, but they've done very well in the 12, 13 minutes that have passed.
So Watts has gone into the ruck for the Amateurs, and it's Lilly for AFL Sydney. So the second string ruckman in, wins it down to Simpson. Can't pick it off the deck, gets tackled straight away. A quick kick goes straight up in the air. The umpire says play on it, hasn't travelled 15. Comes off in AFL Sydney's direction, and a good tackle by Simpson. Pinned his man by holding the ball. The umpire's given advantage going forward. Well, the mark should have been taken by AFL Sydney, it wasn't, but they've roved the ball and kicked quickly forward to the half-forward line. A good pick up by Crichton. He snaps it back on the right into the hotspot. Players fly, ball hits the deck, lands up with AFL Sydney, tries to get the hands off the Vics. A string of hand passes should be able to work it clear if they can find a man here. No. The ball's been chopped off and turned over. AFL Sydney on the wing. One way then the other goes Lilly. Gets the hand pass off to Crichton. Again near the boundary line. Just wobbles it forward. Gets the hand pass off to Ryan. Ryan on the left. Tries to find a teammate with a wobbly pass. He's doing well one way than the other. This is Bowles, the vice captain. He slotted it through. Got rid of his man way too easily. And Bowles for AFL Sydney has their second. They're 2-1-13. Leading the Amateurs at 2 straight 12. That's on the cover up Canvas product scoreboard. 14 minutes gone for Sky High Mount Daniel in the first quarter.
Well, a couple of fumbles by the Victorian players there, by the VFA players there, when they really had the run of the ball. But full marks to Bowles there, who was very, very good once it got down to a one-on-one situation. He was too strong for his opponent and too clever. Kicked a very good goal.
Ball back in the middle, umpire balls it up, Rucks go at it, tap down there, handball there for the AFA. With the ball now is Perkins, he goes long inside 50 in the direction of the target there in Lowcock. With the ball now, Winslow tackled without the ball. Lowcock there, picked the ball back up, check side, punt to a free man, he bounds, he's on his own.
Great vision, great vision. had a good look round. You know, when you're watching a game from outside the ground and you see a player look around and take his time like that player did to set the goal up, it's excellent stuff. It's very easy in the hustle and bustle of Australian rules football to make a silly mistake at that stage by trying to do it too quickly, but that was a great setup.
Bounty, 25 metres out from goal, kick on the way, and he snuck that through, I think, and the umpire says he has, so the AFA go to 3 straight, 18, AFL Sydney 213 on the cover-up canvas product scoreboard, and we've travelled 15.5 minutes into this opening quarter for Sky High Mount Dandenong.
Ken, it's quite clear that, you know, these players are good enough that if you make a mistake, it's going to be quite challenging to come back and compete pretty quickly.
Yes, well, you're right, Joe. And I mean, as time goes by, if there's no rain, I mean, not that we've had a great deal of rain, it'll become a bit easier to handle the ball too. Players will keep their feet a little easier outside of the muddy centre.
Watts wins the ball out to Simpson. That's his second clearance. Couldn't get clear hands though. The ball kicked high in AFL Sydney's direction. Players will go. The punch comes from Biggs. Could have taken the mark perhaps. Hits the deck. Maloney leading back in the race. Being pounced on. And too high. So he's won himself a free kick. Wants to play on quickly with hands wide. They'll come along the wing looking for Tyke when he's got it. His legs already covered in mud. Goes short. Keeps it low to Simpson inside. Goes further afield with the kick. Had too much carry for Martin. And turned over, end up in the hands of Jordan, who'll kick wide to the outer side of the ground, looking for Sylvester. Has some support who wants to get the hand pass off. No, feigns one way, then decides to put it on the right foot going forward, but the kick's a poor one. Really much should have been taken by Maloney, it wasn't. He's won himself a free kick again.
Might have been a bit lucky there, Joe.
Goes with the hands, then short kick comes inside to Beaumont. Just on the edge of the square. Will go through the middle and out wide. A good lead, a good long lead, and a perfect kick. Finds Flaherty. He has 1 goal already this term. Just pops up looking for the big man in Winchell. In the end, it almost hit him on the chest. So he thought it was going to carry.
The tackling has been terrific by the VAFA in this early part of the game. They're probably late on 2-1 at this stage.
Particularly in the forward pressure. The ball comes down. Bilkey trying to spin out of it. Can't. They get the hands off to Strudwick, who chases it down. Oh, the hand pass too far for Petrucco. Put him in trouble, but he butters up well. Again, Ken, that good tackling. The pressure on Linton is going forward. The mark should be taken or at least turned over in the Vic's direction as it is. So a little bit of volleyball. Very clever hands. Ends up with McQueen with handball. Pay is sloppy and kicked off the ground and over the boundary line. Inside forward 50 in front of the scoreboard that sees the Amateurs 3 straight 18, leading AFL Sydney 2-1 at 13 on the cover-up campus product scoreboard. 18 minutes gone this first term.
Umpire balls it back into play. Rucks miss it. Goes to the back of the pack. Coming off handball there to Sylvester. Sylvester couldn't get it on the bounce. Handball for VAFA. Going through it, the ball was low. Took it and didn't take it. Pack forms in the centre square. Umpire letting it go. Now he crossed himself and have a ball up.
I think the player on the bottom of the pack was also crossing himself at that stage.
Balls it up. So Spiteri couldn't get the kick smothered there. Coming through the ball was in backs. Got the kick away, but only as far as the AFA player there. In the AFL Sydney player there in right. Right goes towards half forward. Hard task there. Pack forms. Mark taken. AFL Sydney go inside 50 to the pocket. Player their legs in the race. It's Blacko kicks around the body and Tawny sees it over for one behind.
He wanted to play on quickly, but I think the umpire was saying a little bit too quickly.
Stuff behind brings AFL Sydney to 2-2-14. They trail the AFA by 4 points with 3 straight goals, 18. Plays in the wing out. Mark taken by Daniel Flaherty. Defensive side of centre wing. Decides to go inboard and he finds a player there in Miss Campbell. He couldn't take the mark, punched away there, went back and got it. Was on the ground, he handballed it. Players dive on the ball, umpire waves play on. But he's blowing the whistle and will have another ball up. Right on AFL Sydney's forward 50.
Well, I know I said that the wind is doing some funny things over on that side of the ground, but the kick from there, that wasn't the way to go, was it, from wing to the centre?
From the ball up, off the half-back line, Maloney. Covered the kick there, leading in the race for VAFA was Dowd. Swung around his right foot, went to space,
leading the race there was Shaw, but he's beaten there by Martin. Guy Martin gets the kick away to Lowcock. Lowcock's tackled. With the ball there is Jordan. He handballed to AFL Sydney. Another shocking kick up onto the wing. Finds his player in Lindsay. Kicked it around the body to half forward. Plays fly there and it's punched over for a boundary throwing left half forward line for the AFL Sydney.
And you'll never guess which side of the ground it's on and how far away it is. Couldn't be any further, could it, from there?
Got my glasses out, Ken. The Ammos lead by 4 points. 20 minutes into this first term, brought to you by Sky High, Mount Dandenong. AFL Sydney looking to go in to attack. They're on their half forward line. The umpires found a free kick in the ruck contest. And it's going in AFL Sydney's direction. And it will be Lilly who takes the kick. Umpire's making sure he lines him up correctly. Wants to get the hand pass off anyway for someone perhaps with a bigger boot. Goes breaking kick inside. A mark's being taken in defence. Great mark by the Vicks. Or the quick hand pass. They're going to get rid of it. Ends up with it. Paul Wintle gets the hand pass out to Tyke when they can come inside. They have Perkins for 1-2. Bring it further into the corridor with Down. He can go off through the middle and take a bounce along the wing. And kicks long. Oh, play hits the deck. The umpire's found free kick. He was held, got to front position, and the player behind AFL Sydney just pulled him to the deck. So Lowcock will have a shot for goal on a 45-degree angle from about 40 metres out.
Yeah, should score here.
Similarly to where he kicked his first one, Ken.
It's a beautiful kick, isn't it? Usually. Having said that, I'll look
off the boot, doesn't look too flash, swinging out to the right and stays right. And through for the one behind. The Amateurs 3-1-19, leading AFL Sydney 2-2-14 on the cover-up canvas product scoreboard.
And with the kicking out duties for the AFL Sydney, we have Declan Donaghy, who decides to go to the half-back line where he's found a player all on his own. He decides to assess his options. He goes short and he finds Wotton Noonan for the AFL Sydney on half-back. He's content with just chipping it to Roland Bilkley. He's taken the mark. And he chips in the middle of the ground where he finds Earl Shaw on his own. Shaw kicks towards half-forward. Dropped the mark. Should have taken was Edwards. Ball at ground level. Snap around the body there by Petrucco. And it's just one behind to the AFL Sydney. They go to 2-3-15. The AFA 3-1-19 on the cover-up canvas product scoreboard.
Well, that was an opportunity that went begging there.
Edwin should have snaffled that one. Baldwin with the takeaway for the Vicks, the outer side of the ground. Agius takes the mark, plays on, and he's tackled straight away, but the ball spills fortuitously in the Vicks direction. And Beaumont can kick along the wing. Wintle, the big man, went over the two little men in front, and Wintle's taken the mark. He's going back.
Luke.
It is Luke, yep. So
the Wintle family will be listening in intently and they want to know which one's got him.
It's Luke. He's gone forward after starting with the ruck and has pinpointed the pass into Lowcock, who flew high and took a good strong mark overhead.
Well, chance for Lowcock to make amends for the last shot from goal. He may fancy himself a little more from this side, or that far side of the oval. Almost directly in front, I guess, just on a slight angle.
Yeah, the angle's not too great. The distance certainly won't worry him, so it'll just be a question of the accuracy. The Amateurs currently lead by 4 points. 23 minutes into the first term, brought to you by Sky High Mount Daniel. Lowcock keeps it low off the field. Goal umpire hardly has to move, and he has his second. Andrew Lowcock has 2, the Amateurs have 4. They're 4-1-25. Stretch their lead now to 10 points over AFL Sydney, 2-3-15 on the cover-up canvas product scoreboard.
Well, he's obviously the focal point up forward, Lowcock. He's had a pretty good season in the local competition, of course. But while he plays in front and he leads like that and gets deliveries like that, well then he's only got to do the second part of the equation and finish it off with some accurate kicking. So that's another good goal. Good start for the home side.
Back in the middle, the two number 22s fly there. The centre clearance won there by Edwards for AFL Sydney. Only started the half-forward line. Tawney gets a handball over the top. The AFA off the half-back line. Dowd gave the one handball back to the player there in low, who kicked towards half-forward. Lowcock makes it on the bounce. Clever handball there to Perkins. Got the handball there to Strachan, who goes towards full forward. Flurry tried to keep it in, but he's knocked it over and will have a boundary throwing
left forward pocket for the VAFA.
Yeah, not a bad result that. I think it might have been a point if it had gone straight through, but he managed to flick it back. So the ball's still alive and a chance to score. We're nearly at the finish of this quarter, 25-minute mark.
Ball thrown back in, Rucks flew at it. At the back of the pack there, tackled there was Wintle, couldn't take it. And it's wrapped up in a tackle, holding the ball, said the umpire. And it's a free kick to Earl Shaw.
Not giving the ball
and
up.
Also 25.
It's pretty hot in there, Ken, for holding the ball.
Yes, I thought. However, that's the guy. I mean, I think the thing was that he didn't make a deliberate attempt to get rid of it. Must have been tackled.
Earl Shaw now moves to centre wing, he kicks up towards half forward. Lovely punch there by Trent Zimbax. And it's over the line. We'll have a boundary throwing at AFL Sydney's half forward line in front of the scoreboard here at Sports Cover Arena. The scoreboard shows the AFA up by 10 points. Ball thrown back in. Watts had front position down there, bounding, couldn't control it, and it's rolled back over for another boundary throwing. So 25 minutes into the first quarter for Sky Home Mount Dandenong. Boundary umpire throws the ball back in once again. Rucks at it. Watts got the tap down there, but only as far as the AFL Sydney player, and he's wrapped up in a tackle by two VAFA players, and we'll have a ball up at half forward for the AFL Sydney. Umpire throws the ball up. Watts there, couldn't get the clear tap. Tackled there once again. The VAFA's tackling has been fantastic in opening parts of this game. And we'll have another ball up. This time at half forward for AFL Sydney. Umpire quickly throws the ball up again. Watts got the tap down. In close there, got the kick away with Shane Ryan. Only went up and under. Ajay said couldn't get it. Now he does. He's tackled as soon as he tries to run away. And the umpire pings him for holding the ball. Where was the bar opportunity umpire? So the resultant free kick is to Jeremy Gill, who decides to go inside 50. Wintle there coming out strongly. Couldn't take the mark there. Did well though. Got front position. Tawny met solidly there. Coming out there, training one way to the left was Strachan. AFL Sydney up and under kick, much the way there by Perkins. Ajay's now with the ball, with poise on the left foot, kicks to space. Leading the race there is Flaherty. He's surrounded by four AFL Sydney players and he coughs it up. Coughs it up to the player in Wotton Noonan. It's half forward and there's a mark taken there for AFL Sydney.
So a chance to go forward. This is through Egan. Just pops up to the hotspot. Players having to go back in defence. Ball hits the deck. A second effort. This is after the marking contest. Snaps the goal at Edwards. And it's wide. And no mark can be taken. So it's play on. Oh, fantastic smother coming in there for the Vicks. It's all happening. Absalom got his ball smothered very well by Baldwin. And the numbers on the outer side of the ground with the Vicks. They should be able to clear. This is forward now. On the half-back line, just swings it wide and long, really looking for space. It's a 2-on-1 in AFL Sydney's direction. But the ball's gone over the boundary line, which is probably the best result for the Vicks, who lead it by 10 points, 28 points into the first term, 28 minutes.
Good call, Joe. That was a terrific piece of defensive work there. But they worked very hard to get the ball up to the centre of the ground.
In the ruck, Lily wins it down. In front, no one can take it. Through the legs of AFL Sydney. Near the boundary line, the Vicks. Weight of numbers. Kick comes forward, but all too late. The first term is over. The cover-up canvas product scoreboard reads the amateurs 4-1-25 lead AFL Sydney 2-3-15 in an exciting opening quarter. Stay tuned for Ken's summations of the first term.
Sky High Mount Dandenong offers an unparalleled view over Greater Melbourne.
Probably stuck in my mind because of the hand of the name. I think they have to shorten, don't they, some of these guys, so that you can get it out before you miss half the play. But I thought he did a little bit for his side as well.
So sirens sounds for the start of the second term. Amateurs lead by 10 points. Damian Tardio to take it away.
And the Rucks go at it. Punch, handball there to the player in Simpson for the VAFA. First kick of the quarter. Leading the race there for the AFL Sydney's Bowls. Went to pick it up there, but he's met there by Perkins. Ball spills out. Handball, chain of handballs here for the AFL Sydney. Comes out to Absalom. Absalom is tackled there. Met solidly for the VAFA player. And will be a ball up on the outer side of the ground
And that really emphasises, that piece of play that Damian emphasised what I said before, the pressure that's being applied by the Victorian boys.
Exactly, no easy kick's going to be won today. Kick out the space, tapped away there by the AFA player. Coming through there was a GS, and he's met solidly by two AFL Sydney players, and we'll have another ball up, smack bang on centre wing on the outer side of the ground here at Sports Cove Arena. Umpire balls the ball up, coming off hands there through the middle of the ground is AFL Sydney. On the left foot, kicked up towards half forward there, being in the race. Two players there. Kick to the wing in the direction of Wotton. He takes the mark. No, sorry, it was Luke Williams. On centre wing, Luke Williams goes towards half forward. Finding a player there. Watson nearly took to a great mark there. Handball by Bilkey off the half-back line. AFL Sydney regained possession on the wing. AFL Sydney go up towards half forward. Coming out there was Amy Vladko, went over his head. Maloney's got space. Decides to chip over the top, and he's got Lachlan McQueen Miss Campbell. In the back pocket, McQueen Miss Campbell goes, and he finds the player in.
Covered in mud.
Simpson, it's Tommy Simpson.
Yep. Just about brought his own ball at this stage of the game, hasn't he?
Goes short. Kick off half back by Maloney to the wing. Wintle leading the race. Picks it up. He's tackled as soon as he got the ball. Umpire waves play on. Sydney have the numbers. Indiscriminate handball there. VAFA regained possession. Goes towards half forward. Leading in the race there was Jordan. Couldn't take possession. Scrappy game on the bottom of the pack there. Handball out to space. David Lowe turns around on the left foot. Goes towards half forward, and it's a mark taken there by Beaumont. Spears in a kick, goes over the head of a couple, but the mark's been taken there by the AFA.
Big fella. Like how picky from there.
It's Jack Watts who's taken the mark.
Jack will be furious if they're not recognised.
30 metres out from goal. The AFA lead by 10 points. Jack Watts hasn't kicked a goal this afternoon. He's had a fantastic season thus far for his team in University Blues. Comes in, kick on its way, and it's hit the post. So the AFA go to 4-2-26. AFL Sydney 2-3-15. We've travelled 3 minutes into the second quarter for Warringal Shopping Centre Heidelberg.
Well, the build-up for that shot for goal was terrific from the AFA because again it was pressure. They just applied pressure all the time. Sydney boys looked like they were going to break clear on a number of occasions there, but there was always somebody on their tail. Eventually forced the turnover at the end.
So AFL Sydney does bring it short into the back pocket and look to run it down the middle. The kick can come out here if it's... Oh, Adjus is going to chop it off. He was looking for Sylvester. Adjus will send them back in forward. On the left boot, has a couple of choose from. Players will fly. No one can take the mark. Back of the pack into the goal square. AFL City will look, they're clear, kicking for touch. No, it's gone too wide. Out of bounds on the full, and the free kick will be taken by Williams. Goes short to Adius. The umpire says play on, it was too short. Looking for Tom Simpson, who took a strong mark and got a little bit of attention.
Courageous mark, little man.
He's only a small man, he had to get up to reach that one. And Simpson doesn't think he's got the distance, so looking for Whittle, Luke Whittle.
Loose marking then from
Just dropped into the hole. Dangerous player, Luke Winter. We've seen him many times as the Bees Mentone Tigers in the premier competition of the amateurs. It was a good kick by Simpson after taking the good mark. So Wintle, a chance to add a fifth for the amateurs. They lead by 11 points early in this second term. Deliberate off the boot as he snuck it in. The fans like it, so does the goal umpire. It's the fifth for the amateurs. They're 5-2-32, leading AFL Sydney 2-3-15. On the J. Dunstan Plus Products scoreboard, we've gone 5 minutes in the second term for Warringal Shopping Centre in Heidelberg.
Well, again, I repeat what I said a moment ago. To let a big player like Wintle almost get down there on his own was not a good sign. Sydney AFL obviously going to have to man up at some stage in the game.
Back in the middle of the ground, Rucks go at it. Stuck in the mud there. Low, met solidly, didn't have the ball. Coming through there was
the player in Aegeus.
Someone heard in the middle of that. Maybe
David Lowe.
nothing his eye, maybe.
Yeah, bounty there for the AFA. Aegeus scrubbers a left foot kick towards the forward position, but AFL Sydney get it. Kick out there to Rowan Wilkie, who's marked it off half-back. Plays on immediately. Chopped off there by Grant Baldwin. Play forward Mark Egan now with the handball over the top. AFL Sydney solid kick there. Going back towards the ball was Wilkin, and it's seen over the boundary line in front of interchange gates. Umpire throws it back into play.
David Lowe is in the
Yeah, just come off there now, receiving attention. At the moment, Aegeus with the ball, he's met solid there, he's always under the packs, and the umpire crosses himself and another ball up right into the VAFA logo in front of the grandstand here at Sports Cover Arena. Throws the ball back up, the umpire does. Tapped down there by Shaw. Coming through there was Simpson for the AFL Sydney. Handball there, put
in the back. Right him into the ground that time.
Dowd. The free kick on centre wing in front of our broadcast position here at Sports Cover Arena. The kick's form has been chopped off there by David Linson. Linson has the football now, half back for AFL Sydney. Gets the hurry up from the umpire, goes towards half forward, needing it on the bounce. There was Alex Lee, and he's taken the ball over and will have a boundary throwing at half forward for AFL Sydney.
He's a big solid unit, isn't he? Yeah, Lee.
Certainly is. He'd be a hard one to tackle to the ground. Ball thrown in front of us. Wintle wins the tap down, looking for Baldwin. He hits the deck, tackled straight away. The umpire will have to come in to ball it up. So a lot of stoppages. I think Wintle will be quite telling. He's a good player, isn't he, Ken?
Yes, I think he enjoys these sort of conditions too.
Big man who uses his brain. He's tapped it down again to Baldwin, who's set up immediately and moved a couple of metres closer to goal. Glenn Huntley Road end. The scoreboard sees the Amateurs 32, AFL Sydney 15. Tap goes towards the boundary line. Simpson can't pull it in. And it over in front of him. So a little slow passage of play. He hasn't moved anywhere in the last 30 seconds. On the half-forward line for AFL Sydney. Ruckman do battle again. Ball comes down to the front again towards the boundary. Lee, who goes in hard, shakes off a couple and gets the hand pass off to Ryan. Spills zone is tackled high. And he's earned himself, given away I should say, the free kick to Baldwin for the Vicks. Goes into the middle looking for Luke Windle, who's made space, and then gets the hands off. So a bit of a run. Tyquin slips it forward. Good mark is taken on his chest. Diving forward, Williams. So the man on the mark is right on the 40-metre arc, directly in front. Williams is going to bang it long. Shot for goal is going to land in the square. Players fly off. Big grab. Is it Watts? It was a huge fly. And he's ended up with the mark. Set himself early. And it is Jack Watts who's taken it. So Wintle and Watts swapping between ruck and forward duties, it seems, so far in the match. And this one he really should slot through for their sixth. And he does. He makes no mistake. They're 6-2-38, leading AFL Sydney 2-3-15. On the J. Dunson Plaster Products scoreboard, we've gone 9.5 minutes in the second term, brought to you by Warringal Shopping Centre in Heidelberg.
Well, both Luke Windle and Jack Watts are causing a lot of trouble out there. The two big fellas that are virtually just running the ship any way they like it. This side's need to make some changes to be made in the AFL Sydney set up to counteract those guys. I'm amazed that Luke Windle could get free so easily in the centre of the ground, which he did again on that occasion.
Back in the middle, umpire threw the ball up. Free kick there paid to the player there in Perkins, Howard, for the AFA. Cameron Howard has the football. The AFA lead by 23 points. He goes towards half forward, coming out there with Lowcock. Got the handball to Tyquin, didn't reach the target. Coming through there for the AFL Sydney was Damian Bowles. He kicked it up towards half forward. Leading the race there was Matthew Withers, and he sees it over the boundary line and will have a boundary throw-in
at half forward for the AFL Sydney.
Andrew Laycock was very disappointed with what he did there, but a terrific lead from a great pass and a very ordinary handball.
Ball tumbling back in. Rucks went at it. Shaw had front position. Packer players crowd around the ball. No one can get a clear possession out here. Kicked off the ground in mid-air for the AFL Sydney. Goes towards Edwards. Couldn't take the mark. Kicks it. Clever kick off the ground. Got it out in space. Coming to pick it up there was Jeremy Keel. He couldn't get a handball out. And another great tackle there by the VAFA. He's locked the ball up and will have a ball up. Umpire balls the ball up quickly. Tapped down by Shaw. Got the handball there around the body. Kicked there by Bowles. Kicked it only as far as 20 for the VAFA. Got the handball out into space. And now with the ball we have Baldwin off the half-back line. He kicks up towards half-forward. Boundy's there, but goes towards the player in Beaumont. Beaumont plays on. Goes towards full forward. Lowcock's there. Coming out there was Watts. Metsoldi slipped over at the last moment. Kick out to Boundy on the left foot. Kicks it in direction, but AFL Sydney have the numbers. Couldn't take it there. Flaherty done well there. He banged on the boot, went to the hot spot. Centering kick there. Drop mark there by AFL Sydney. Coming through there, met high was Jeremy Keel, and he'll get the resultant free kick in the defensive forward 50.
Well, AFL Sydney haven't been very sure handling with the ball at all, have they? There's been a couple of marks dropped there that should have been clearly taken and went straight in and out.
So 12 minutes into the second term, Butch by Ringle Shopping Centre, Heidelberg. The Amateurs 38, AFL Sydney 15. AFL Sydney have not added to their quarter time score. They're on the outer wing now here at Elsternwick Park, looking along the line. It's a good kick and good body movement too by Withers, who's taken the mark. On the outer side of the ground, it was Lee, sorry, who took it and kicked forward near the boundary line. Good marks being taken out in front, so this is a better build-up by AFL Sydney. Chance to go forward. They're just going to pop it into the hot spot. Players will need to fly, but there's no one there except Jack Watts. So he's at both ends of the ground. Kenny's doing it all. He gets the hand pass off to Baldwin, who's also had plenty of it in this term, and a great kick into the centre of the ground. The Vicks, fantastic ball movement. Again, if they can get this one, they do on the chest. Hands off. Plenty of run. This is Simpson. He'll need to get rid of it, and he does it in time. He's caught from behind. No word came from any teammate, or he's played on, and Simpson won himself back the ball. That wasn't too clever. In the mud, getting stuck was Lowcock. Players dive, and the umpire giving them every chance to come out, but it doesn't. A bit of a string of errors there from both sides. And we'll end up with a ball up on the half-forward line for the Vicks. So Wintle, it was Lowcock, sorry, just crashed into. Coming out of the pack, quick kick goes forward for AFL Sydney. It's McQueen McCampbell, who hopefully butter up to Watts, falls at his feet, can't pick it up, goes in for a second effort and does well, gets off to Baldwin, then goes with the 1-2. Kicks forward, has a man on the outer side of the ground. If he can take it, he can. It was well done by Tyquin. Can send the Vicks inside 50 again, decides to keep it low, finds Wintle. Luke Wintle.
It's loose play, isn't it? Very loose play.
Goes short, didn't improve the angle, but certainly improved the distance. He's found his teammate. Any guesses who that is, Ken, on the other side of the ground?
No, too far away. I can read the 4 and 20 sign.
That's not the important thing. Well, let's go with Martin. He's got his own grandstand, and so he should. Oh, the save, he kicks that, but he's hit the post. Just through for the one behind. 6-3-39, the Amateurs lead AFL Sydney 2-3-15. The J. Johnston Plaster Products scoreboard. 14.5 minutes gone in this second term. AFL Sydney still yet to add to their quarter time tally.
Donahue with kicking out duties goes very, very wide, and he's found Rowan Bilkey, who kicks a long kick towards the centre wing, but it's a fantastic mark being taken there by Watts. Got the handball onto Lowcock, who went in short over the head of Dowd. The umpire picked out a free kick.
Down the ground, I think.
Going away with the AFA for a trip to Dowd. We've got the kick out to the player all on his own there in Snorn, who goes for goal. Will fall short, but it's the mark being taken there in the goal square.
Gee whiz, they're doing it very easily at this stage, aren't they? Yeah. Victoria and Bush, Flaherty, I think, has got the ball.
The Strawn shot and goal fell short, and it just fell into the lap of Flaherty, who's already kicked one this afternoon. Going for his second.
And he kicks truly, and that extends the AFA's lead. They go to 7-3-45, AFL Sydney 2-3-15. Oh, he missed, kicked it. So on the J. Dunstan Blaster Pro scoreboard, the AFA lead by 30 points, 15.5 minutes into the second quarter by Ringel Shopping Centre, Heidelberg.
Well, it's looking a bit ugly, isn't it, Joe? The state of they really haven't come to grips with the big fella, Jack Watts and Wintle, and they're doing a lot of damage all around the ground.
They certainly are, and it's Wintle back now in the ruck, tap down. The takeaway is going to be with the Vicks again. Simpson gets the hand pass out, and they go forward with a quick kick. Players will fly. No one can take the mark. Ball hits the deck. First one on is Martin, who lines up for goal, but starts at left and it stays that way to that side. Just through for the one behind. 7-4-46. The Amos, AFL Sydney 2-3-50. The J. Dunstan Plaster Products scoreboard.
That's really going to give that one.
Iona from the kick in, went long and direct, and it found Jeremy Kill, who got the handball over the tops of his captain, Declan Donahue, who pumped it inside 50, but it's a wonderful mark taken there by Paul Wintle in the last line of defence. He got the handball to the teammate, and they go out to half-back, and Sean taking a mark on his chest. On the mark there is Matt Withers as Sean goes out towards the wing, and he's found the player in the Queen's camp. Been very good this afternoon. He decides to go down the line. Flying high there was Jordan for AFL Sydney. Coming down, he was bound, he couldn't take a mark, and Shane Ryan for AFL Sydney been wrapped up in a tackle, and the umpire says, "Give it to me, I'll ball it up in front of the interchange gates here at the Sports Cove Arena." Ball it up, tapped down there by the player in Shaw. At a GS, 1-2, got in his left foot, went inboard to Beaumont, bet it on the bounce, went back to a GS. Wonderful stuff here by GS. Sent the ball to half forward. Coming out to meet it there was Williams. Couldn't control it, and AFL Sydney get the resultant interception. Kicked over the top of two players there. Coming out to meet it was McQueen's Campbell. Got the handball to a player under pressure. Met solidly there by the bumpers. Absalom for AFL Sydney. But here come the VAFA. They go out towards the wing, but it's all the AFL Sydney. So the mark being taken by Ryan on his own. Ryan decides to switch play to the outside. Off the half-back line. Couldn't take the mark there was right, but he decides to go inside 50. Looking for the player in Budco, but it's a lovely mark taken there by Winslow. He's been fantastic there in the last couple of minutes of the AFA. Yep. So Paul Wintle with the long sleeves on this afternoon. Goes to Baldwin. Baldwin gets himself in Simpson actually gets himself in a bit of trouble. Goes long with the kick. Bound, he couldn't take the mark, punched away there. Packer plays form, and we'll have a ball up on the outer side of the ground here at the Sports Cove Arena, which sees the VAFA in control, 7-4-46 lead, AFL Sydney 2-3-15 on the J. Dunstan Plaster Products scoreboard.
Outer side of the ground, no clear winner in the ruck. On-ground hand pass, well, the umpire's given it as a throw, and AFL Sydney have won themselves a free kick.
Yeah, good call from the umpire there. I reckon even from here I saw the 2 hands move then.
The umpires have been good this afternoon. We will speak to Brian Goodman, of course, General Manager of umpiring for the VAFA at half-time. But AFL Sydney, inside their 40, they found themselves a free kick for Hoy. The man didn't have a footy. It's been paid against Paul Wintle, who tugged a jumper. And AFL Sydney, who have not added to their quarter-time score, will have a chance to put one on the board. It's in the hands of Withers, who has led hard. Ken, up on the half-forward line.
Yes. Well, they haven't had much of the ball up on the forward line at all, have they? They've got to make every opportunity count. They want to stay in the game.
So he's represented AFL Sydney twice before in 2007, 2009. Just pokes it off the boot. It looks like he's, I thought he snuck it in, but he hasn't. Just the one behind, 2-4-16. Margin back to 30 points. The amateurs 7-4-46. The J. Dunstan Plaster Products scoreboard. 20 minutes gone in the second term. Brought to you by Ringel Shopping Centre in Heidelberg.
Didn't try to kick through the ball at all then.
20 with the long kicking. It's found Roland Lee's marked it outside 50. Maybe too far out to score. He decides to send it as long as he can towards the top of the goal square. Coming through from the side there. We've been paid the mark there. It's Withers once again.
Good mark, that one. I reckon he took it from air to ground. The ball only bounced out when he hit the ground. I clean mark for mine.
Fantastic mark coming through from the side, Leo Barriesk. And he's got the chance to kick a much needed goal for AFL Sydney. They trailed by 30 points. Just ticked in the time line in the second quarter for...
He should kick it right out into the main street there, that's better. And he's missed a bit.
Once again.
Taking notice of me.
So 2 crucial misses by AFL Sydney. They moved to 2-5-17.
Well, they should have been 2 goals for a forward from that position.
So the Vics bring it in short to low, will get the shepherd from Paul Wintle and bring it down the middle. Good strong hands by Bowman in front, takes the mark. On the wing, goes into the middle, looking for Wintle. Ball hits the deck, that was Luke Wintle. Manages to get the hand pass off to Maloney, who gets to Aegis, who goes forward. Strong mark taken out in front by Boundy. Boundy, look for a leading player outside. Attacking Butover, who goes short inside, and Aegis has run well.
Did he cut us some ground?
Found himself inside the forward line. He's had a bit of the ball, Ken, in his second term.
Yeah, he's been very good. Well, I mean, running is a feature of his play too. I mean, he's probably run best part of 70 odd metres to get down there then.
So a shot on goal, a chance to keep the amateurs 8. They've had a good term.
And this will
second
really
one.
This will hurt in terms of missing 2 from the other end.
It's not going to have the carry. Free kick's been found. I think it's going in AFL Sydney's direction. Before the ball got there, a player was dealt with. So AFL Sydney will look to clear, and they'll have a bonus 25 metres because Jack Watts ran over the mark. They need all the help they can get at the moment, AFL Sydney.
And Jack Watts is determined to be in every part of the play. He's been everywhere.
Even if he's giving something away.
That's right.
And off the half back line with the kick was Chris Murphy. Went to the outer side, he had a play rule on his own. He's taken the mark. Goes inboard and he's found Wotton Noonan. He's taken the mark. AFL Sydney trying to build something here. Wotton Noonan told to hurry up by the umpire, so he goes long inside 50 in the direction of Withers. Couldn't take the mark there. Coming down to McQueen, Miss Campbell. Here they go once again, the VAFA, and it's taken over the boundary line by Tom Maloney. In the right forward pocket for the AFL Sydney, will have a boundary throwing. They trail by 29 points, late stages here, second quarter. Umpire throws the ball back in. Whittle got front position there, got it down to AGS, got it down to low rather. Kick out there only as far as the AFL Sydney player. That's been tapped out of his hands, and the umpire signalled come 25 metres further off the ground, and we're bringing in reach for a shot on goal.
Well, some of the AFA players are doing their best to get Sydney going into the 50 metres in the last couple of minutes.
So this is
Not smart things to do because there's a long way to go in this game.
A gimme goal here by Matt Edwards. It's a bit of a gift from the VAFA, and it sends the AFL Sydney to 3-5-23. They trail the VAFA by that margin, 23 points, who are 7-4-46 on the J. Dunstan Plaster Point scoreboard, who travelled 23 and a half minutes in the second quarter for Ringwood Shopping Centre Hardware.
Well, it's disappointing sometimes when you see fatal mistakes made like that. And I think in the last 5 minutes we've seen a couple they've given away that way. It's hard work that's done around the ground that's destroyed in somebody just not playing the game it should be, the way it should be played. That's what I'm trying to say.
The ball hits the mud in the middle, low off the ground, kicking it forward. Players diving in on it. And the umpire's giving him every chance to get it out, but it's not going anywhere.
I wouldn't think that there's too much time on this quarter with their job. Maybe another 3 minutes.
Yeah, we haven't been raining goals. It's on the half-forward line for the Vics. Kicking to the scoreboard end at season lead, 46-23 over AFL Sydney. Sydney have the takeaway though. It's managed to find its way back into the middle. A kick off the ground by Strudby. He could have picked it up, but it's landed fortuitously for them in the hands of Lee. And he has a shot on goal. So this will be a good chance to get 2 in a row for AFL Sydney. The man on the mark is just inside the 40-metre arc. The angle not too great, so Lee a chance to add another one for AFL Sydney. Late into this term, keeps it low, doesn't look too bad off the boot, and it's gone through for a goal. So Alex Lee has put through his second, and that's 2 in a row for AFL Sydney. They're 4-5-29, still trailing the amateurs 7-4-46. 25 minutes gone in the second term, brought to you by Ringwood Shopping Centre in Heidelberg.
Well, he makes the most of the opportunities there. I mean, the kick came off the ground, but following the play and coming forward chance. He's finished it off with a goal. That's his second. Not a bad return for a forward.
AFL Sydney mounting a comeback here late in the second quarter. Rucks flew at it. No one could get a decisive tap away, and we'll have a secondary bounce. No free kicks being paid to Dowd for the VAFA. You got the handball over the top to Cameron Howard, who went towards half forward. Pack form there. At the bottom of the pack there was Perkins, who strolled in and has sprayed it to the right, and it's gone out of bounds in the full. So Chris Jordan with the football now. He's got Ryan Sylvester all on his own on the half-back line. The AFL Sydney trying to claw their way back into this game. They've been down as much by 30 points midway through the second quarter. Kicks out towards Winslow, who takes the mark of the VAFA. Simpson with the football now. Goes inboard, but AFL Sydney have the numbers. Picked up there by Absalom. Got the handball over the top. And AFL Sydney running off the half-back line. Goes towards the full forward direction. Big long kick there. Doing well there was Winslow for VAFA. That was Paul Winslow there, and he got a kick away there. Picking up the ball for the AFL Sydney was Damian Bowles.
Out of bounds.
Has gone out of bounds.
I think he was over the line.
Boundary tackle. So we've ticked over 27 minutes in the second quarter as the umpire throws the ball back into play. Winslow, that was Luke Winslow this time, got the tap away in the direction of Zimbacks, couldn't take it. Coming out there was Dowd, had it, then lost it, and he's been holding the man. Free kicks at the umpire. He waves play on now. Dowd goes towards half forward. Punch there by Jordan for AFL Sydney. Falls in the lap with it. There they go, Ryan Sylvester. Had it, then lost it. Siren sounds their way to the VAFA at half-time. 7-4-46 to AFL Sydney, 4-5-29.
So as you said, Damian, the margin got out to 30 points. It's back to 17 here at halftime, with the amateurs leading AFL Sydney 46-29. Stay tuned, because after the break we'll get Ken's summation of the first half, and we'll also be speaking to Brian Goodman, who looks after all the umpiring operations here at the Victorian Amateur Football Association. You're listening to 96.5 Inner FM Football.
Have you enjoyed?
Thanks, Ken, for your words there with Brian Goodman. Interesting conversation.
Yeah, he's a terrific bloke, Brian. Does a power of work for the VAFA. They've been around for a long time and been involved, as a former player and all that sort of thing. So it's great to see him healthy and back on. He had some nice things to say about the commentary and all that sort of thing too. So it works both ways, doesn't it?
So the margin in that second term got out to 30 points. AFL Sydney have pegged it back to 17. Damian Tardio to take us away with the second half.
And the umpire balls it up, and the tap down there by the player in Shaw for AFL Sydney. Ball hasn't moved out of the centre square as of yet. Game tackling, and we'll have a secondary bounce.
Interesting you mentioned the tackling then. I had a sneaky look at the AFL Sydney's stat sheet. It was 17-18 the tackles in the second term.
They're evenly balanced there. Coming out to meet the balls, Flaherty for the AFA. Coming through with Simpson. Got a high kick inside 50. Pushing the back nose head the umpire. AFL Sydney have the numbers. Coming off there to the half-back line is the player in Kieran Wright. Just decides to stop and prop, and now goes long towards Shaw. He's worked out of it there, and it's a strong mark taken there by Jack Watts.
Great mark.
Plays on quickly, and right on the edge of the paint of the 50, a mark's been taken by Flaherty.
Flattery, he's like that.
Difficult name to pronounce.
Flaherty. Jack Watt's mark there was a sensational mark between players. Terrific. And then great deliveries at Flaherty.
He's kicked two this afternoon for his third from outside the 50. He's given it a fair ride. Will just fall short. Oh. Fantastic mark being taken in the goal square.
What a ripper mark that was.
By Luke Winslow, and just thought the ball was going to fall short and fall into the crumbs, but he rose up from nowhere and he's kicked his second. The VAFA go to 8-4-52. AFL Sydney 4-5-29. The first goal of the third quarter brought to you by the Bendigo Bank, East Ivanhoe and Heidelberg.
Well, once again, we've seen the two best big men on the ground dominate in that little piece of play. A terrific mark from Jack Watts at round about the half-forward line, then an equally good kick, and then the next kick was a strong mark from the other big fella on the ground. They've been a real pain in the neck for the other side, I must say.
So Luke Wintle starting forward and Jack Watts in the ruck for the Amateurs. It's Jack Watts who wins the tap down. A good hand pass came out from low and gives the Vicks a quick kick chance to go forward. Boundy in the end has to give the punch. Butters up with the crumbs. The long hand pass going forward finds Aegis. Tries to snap back into the middle. Fantastic vision. Finds Flaherty.
Brilliant play.
Check-side it back towards the hotspot because knew Flaherty was there all alone and unopposed and took the mark directly in front. 25 metres from goal.
Well, you won't see better play than that anywhere in any standard of football. That was just, great vision from Aegis, who almost kicked it back, almost back the other way. Just sensational.
So Flaherty just needs to put it through the sticks, and he does. Has his third for the afternoon. The Amateurs have their ninth. They're 9-4-58. AFL Sydney 4-5-29. On the Templestowe television scoreboard, we've only gone 3 minutes for Bendigo Bank, East Ivanhoe and Heidelberg, and can the Amateurs already have two?
Well, you ask the question now, are the floodgates open? I mean, the third quarter is usually the quarter when somebody gets a massive break. It's become a big break in 2 or 3 minutes, 9 goals to 4. A lot of work to be done by the Sydney side at this stage.
Back in the middle of the ground, flying high there was Shaw, but it's won again by the VAFA. Boundy picks it up. Lovely pick up on his non-preferred side. He got it to Aegis. He took the mark out in front, and Aegis has been shifted forward at the start of this third quarter, and he's going to prove a handful up there. He's just got the footy smarts, and he's going to be very creative for the VAFA side.
Jack Watts, I think, took the full brunt of that ruck clash in the centre of the ground. His own players gathered around and giving him a G up. He's okay by the look of it.
Aegis, man of the marks just inside the 50. Aegis will kick from just the outside. He's hit the post. He gave it a good effort there, and it's the VAFA 9-5-59. They lead the AFL Sydney by 5 straight goals, who are 4-5-29 on the Templestowe television scoreboard.
So from the Glen Huntley road end, it's Donahue for AFL Sydney who bring it back and does so just straight down the middle. A good mark's been taken by Edwards. Just pops it up through the middle. It's going to be turned over by Jack Watts, who just pokes it back the other way. The quick kick, though, doesn't fall into the hands of his teammate. Right, take it in the back line for AFL Sydney. So it wasn't the start they were after, really. AFL Sydney.
It wasn't great either, that kick.
The kick comes along the wing now, and the free kick's being paid to Linson. It's drawn to Eager and over the shoulder in the marking contest. So Linson, probably head along the wing. The umpire's told him now to play on, he's taken too long, so he just bangs it high and long into the middle. Slight push, and the umpire says that was fine, he used his body. Ball comes down to low, gets the hand pass off, still in the middle. In the mud, goes to Aegis. That man, he's got the ball on a string, takes a bit of a bump and then plays on quickly because Boundy is all alone. He plays on the right boot, bending it round. Goal umpire does not move. Boundy has his second. It's all Victorian Amateurs so far in the third term. They're 10-5-65. They've got the jump on AFL Sydney. 4-5-29. The margin is building. It's 36 points now, Ken.
Well, Josh Aegis was brilliant in the last 3 or 4 minutes there. Just terrific play and a great vision up the ground again. A beautiful pass. And Boundy, boy, he's showing the value of having some run in the VFL over the last couple of seasons. He's now back with old Paradis, of course, but he's a very good player.
Back in the middle of the ground, the AFA with the lead early in the third quarter here. Kick out there by Spiteri for AFL Sydney. Goes to the pack. At the fall of the ball there is Withers, and a pack forms, and we'll have a ball up 45 metres out from the AFL Sydney goal. They need an early goal here just to set the tone and claw their way back into this game. Umpire balls the ball back up again, and a pack forms once more, and we'll have a secondary bounce. 6.5 minutes are ticked over here at Sports Cove Arena. The AFA commanding lead thus far. Shaw got up there. Spiteri rode the pack, and he's kicked a wonderful goal. And that was a much needed goal by AFL Sydney, who moved to 5-5-35. They trailed the VAFA by 30 points to a 10-5-65 on the Templestowe television scoreboard.
Yes, well, that was a good piece of anticipation from Spiteri. He got right where the ball was and finished it off with a badly needed goal. 10-5 to 5-5. It's a big lead when we're only a few minutes over halfway mark. 8 minutes into the third quarter, almost.
He's got the margin back down to 30 points. AFL Sydney's first in the second half. In the middle, the umpire throws up above the mud. Shaw won the tap down, but only as far as Simpson, who breaks one tackle, leads to the outer side of the ground and can kick it to a teammate, but it's been chopped off. Didn't quite have the carry, and it was turned over by Wright. So they go to the outer side of the ground, chasing near the boundary line. The umpire says play on. It's over the line. It'll be thrown in on centre wing on the outer side of the ground here, in front of the Welcome to Sports Club Arena side, which is where we are this afternoon at Elsternwick Park. For Rep Footy with 96.5 Inter FM football, Shaw got rid of his man and won the tap down. But roving the ball was the Vicks. They go inside, attacking 50. The mark's been taken by Murphy. Comes out in front of us to the wing. Mark's been dropped by the goal kicker Sylvester. He has time to pick it up off his bootlaces. A long lead coming in the boundary. Spoiled very close to the line. They're trying to keep it in. They do well, the Vicks. Take over his face. He swings it short. But it's been chopped off by Jordan. Low the vice captain. Couldn't hit a target. Free kick's been paid to Ryan for AFL Sydney.
Just some interference there from Tommy Simpson.
Has two men in front of us here. Goes with Lillian and he uses the other man in Bilkey. Goes short, finds his target. This is Wotton Noonan. Just bangs it long to the hot spot. Players will fly. Big pack will fly. No one can come down with it. Ball hits the deck. Work need to be done by the Vicks to clear it from here. They do. The hand pass out to Tarquin. Comes inside to Agius. Hits the deck, so does the ball. Back in towards Simpson. Strong tackling, but Sylvester jams it on the boot. Going forward, they've made the halfway line, but the Vicks should be able to clear. With strong hands through Tawny. Back to Agius through the middle, who just had to get rid of it before he was tackled. Good movement coming forward. Bangs it long, looking for Williams. It's a superb kick hand. Great vision coming forward. Was it Boundy again?
I think it might have been. I'm looking to see.
I think it was. And Williams has taken the mark. The kick was perfectly weighted over the defender's head and landed on the chest of Williams. On a 45-degree angle, sloppy kind of approach, but I think it's floated through. And Luke Williams adds another one to the tally. His first, the amateurs 11. They're 11-5-71. AFL Sydney 5-5-35. Gets the margin back out to 36 points on the Templestowe television scoreboard. 10 minutes ticked over in the third term. Brought to you by Bendigo Bank, East Ivanhoe and Heidelberg.
Well, you know, in 10 minutes we've seen 5 goals kicked, 4 by the VAFA and 1 by the AFL Sydney. It's an amazing game, isn't it, sometimes, for Australia and girls footy.
The VAFA in control at the moment in the third quarter. Rucks go at it. Wintle tried to get it down, but it went down to the AFL Sydney play. But a kick off the ground there. Boundy meets it. Clean bowl there. Coming out was Kieran Wright, who kicked the ball half forward. A collision avoided there, coming off the half back by Matthew Tawney. Got the kick away to half forward. He's in space, and he takes the mark. He wheels around in his left foot and goes towards centre half forward, looking for Boundy. Punched it in the hot spot. Coming out there was Williams, couldn't meet it. Fahey got it. He handballed it to Gius. On his left foot, spins around the body, only for one behind, and it moves the VAFA to 11-6-72. AFL Sydney 5-5-35. They trail by 37 points, 11 minutes into the third quarter by Bendigo Bank, East Ivanhoe and Heidelberg.
Well, both Boundy and Aegis seem to be everywhere in this first 10 minutes of the third quarter.
AFL Sydney bringing it in with the raking kick down the middle. Wintle ends up spoiling, ends up in the hands of Strudwick, who gets the hand pass off. Rudamart and a short topo coming forward, but it's been chopped off and turned over. There's 3 of them to choose from it in the end. Strawn gives it off, has down in there if he wants and gets back to Strawn. Goes along, the kick ill-directed. AFL Sydney with the numbers should be able to clear. Strong tackling again. Managed to get the hand pass off to Murphy, who toe pokes along the line to Jordan.
They go wider and can have some movement along the wing. They have the numbers if they use it well, and they do. Poke out in front of space. Is a good bounce for him. No, the boundary line beats him.
How many times that boundary won the race over there?
Unlucky. They would have been away, AFL Sydney.
Must be a little pocket in there or something.
Trailing by 37 points, 12 minutes into the third quarter. Shaw wins the tap down, but only as far as Dowd, who sprints away and kicks it long. Jordan, though, almost stood under it, couldn't take the mark, it was spoiled, and the kicks come forward to Boundy. Clever play by the amateurs, and Boundy has taken the mark a metre inside the 40-metre arc.
Don't be surprised, I think he should kick the distance there. Boundy, he's having a big game.
He's going back confidently, he's throwing the grass in the air. We can tell you, Boundy, there's not a lot of wind. Surprising at Sports Cover Arena on a football afternoon.
Young man named Lord used to do that. Grass in the air.
We're in the same number 2. Boundy gives it an absolute roost. But it's hit the post and through for just the one behind. 11-7-73 the Ammos. AFL Sydney 5-5-35. The margin stretched out to 38 points.
And from the kick in, she was altered in. Jeremy Kill with the ball in the half-back line. He handballed it to the player in. Ronald Milky went up towards half-forward. Shaw's in front there. Free kicks at the umpire holding on. And will go the direction of Jamie Vladko. Vladko for AFL Sydney goes towards the forward pocket. Shaw couldn't take the mark, he dropped it there. Coming through there was Declan Donahue. But the AFA regaining composure off the half-back line. Yelling out for it by Martin. He's ignored. And Twycombe's coughs it up. Crichton for AFL Sydney goes inside 50. Coming out there from behind. Could have taken the hanger there. Was the player in Edmonds. But the AFA mop up. Off the half-back line, Perkins got the handball. Going towards Aegis once more. He plays on. Spins around his left foot. Goes towards Watts, who's taken a fantastic mark on his chest. Just worked his play around the ball and he grasped onto it. He got the chance to kick his second goal of the afternoon.
Will we see a little shove on the replay, Ken, or you thought that was all above board?
Well, I think there was a shove, but at the right timing. I mean, if the ball's within the 5 metres, you're entitled to remove the player, not from the back, but from the side. And I think that was the key to it. It was a side push.
Fantastic use of the body there as Watts lines up. Low kick, but it's found Boundy's taken a mark. Was going through from behind, but at full stretch, he's taken a mark and he's been put in a very tight angle. He spins around his right foot. He's hit the post again. It's 3 posts, I think, have counted this quarter. And it sends the VAFA to 11-8-74, AFL Sydney 5-5-35 on the Temple State Television scoreboard.
We hit the other post that time, I think that was right and left that he's got.
Jordan brings in short for AFL Sydney, finds a target, and they look to sweep it out wide with a handball. Using the outer side of the ground, this is a good kick if the weight is right. It's not quite. Baldwin manages to spoil it, couldn't mark it, but picks up his own crumbs. Jack Watts in the middle with a short kick to Tyquin, who can take a run. It's it long, it's Boundy again, he'll fly. No, the man in front can't take it. At the back, Watts held without it. Boundy dribbles it through. He's got it through this time. Boundy has his third. The amateurs all over it this term. They have their 12th. They're 12-8-80, leading AFL Sydney 5-5-35. The margin has blown out to 45 points, Ken. 15 minutes into the third term. Brought to Bendigo Bank, East Ivanhoe and Hardwork.
Well, they're getting tremendous drive from the centre of the ground. Watts is getting first touch to the ball there. Boundy is dominating up on the forward line. Aegis is running more kilometres than anybody on the ground. He's here, there and everywhere. It's really opening up pretty wide now.
Rucks go at it. Wintle, that was Luke Wintle that time, got the tap down. Coming through there in heavy traffic was Perkins. He got the clear kick away there in direction of Watts. Wet to his hands at the back there was Kieran Wright for the AFL Sydney. He's got time to steady the ship and he goes towards the player in Ryan Sylvester. His number's covered in mud. He's on half back for AFL Sydney. He pops it over the top. Well done there by McQueen. It was Simpson there. But AFL Sydney have the ball in half back. Spiteri gets the kick, but only as far as Zimbax.
in-backs, kicks it. The player all on his own there in Perkins. He spins around his right foot and sends the VAFA inside attack once again. Watts coming out, couldn't take the mark. Player all over him there, Declan Donahue, and the umpire says, give it to me and I'll ball it up.
Strong play again from Jack Watts there, who was outnumbered, I think, 3-1 that time, and in the middle of them still managed to keep the ball in the forward line for his team.
Jack Watts does the ruck work there. Third man up there was Flaherty. Coming there to collect the ball was Martin. Handball there, Simpson. Due handball seized. A shot at goal by Cameron Howlett. And he's kicked a fantastic team goal there. And it sends the VAFA to 13-86. 51 points ahead of AFL Sydney, who are 5-5-35. Going to travel 17.5 minutes in the third quarter for Bendigo Bank, East Ivanhoe and Heidelberg.
Well, it's gone from reasonable to not so reasonable to ugly. It is ugly now for AFL Sydney. That's a huge lead in the context of this game. And it's opened up in the quarter where they've kicked, I think, six goals for the quarter so far.
6-1.
Yes, that's probably the most significant part of it, 6-1. Not just the 6 goals.
Yeah. Back in the middle, ball hits the deck. Players diving in the mud. Simpson trying to tap it to a teammate. Can't get it done, and the quick kick will go forward in AFL Sydney's direction. The Bigs playing in front mode. Ball comes out, leading the race is Strudwick. Gets pushed off the ball by Perkins, who then dives back in on it. Players then fall on him. Ball still in dispute on the half-forward line for AFL Sydney. Hasn't been down here much. The hands come out at the 1-2 by Lee. He's done well, uses his strong body. Gets the kick towards Crichton. Takes a run, plays on. They need this one. He's got it. AFL Sydney have it there. 6-5-41. The Bigs 13-8-86. Crichton put that one through for the visitors.
Badly needed goal, of course. And look, if they can get the ball out into the open, they can do some damage. But I still, again, think it's been the tackling of the VAFA side that's made it so difficult. They just can't get clear.
Those centre clearances also, Ken, they're getting smashed, AFL Sydney there.
Yes, I agree.
And the umpire balls the ball up. Luke Wintle got the tap down, but AFL Sydney won it, clean possession there. Coming through there, couldn't get the ball with Beaumont, went without it. AFL Sydney trying to bullock through there was Bowles.
What a great
handball to Lowcock. Lowcock once more with the ball, tackled by Spiteri. Couldn't get rid of it. AFL Sydney have the numbers. They're all around the ball there. Tackled by Beaumont. Spiteri there, got the handball out. AFL Sydney out in numbers here as Lily gets to the ball to half forward. Coming out there, McQueen Campbell punch it away. AFL Sydney on the edge of the centre square. Can't get clean possession there, and Nat Edwards is locked up in a tackle and will have a ball up. Just forward to centre wing for the AFL Sydney, who trail by 45 points, just ticking into time on in the third quarter by Bendigo Bank, East Ivanhoe and Heidelberg. The ruck contest, Lee got it down. Sharking the ball there was Lee, who kicked it inboard, looking for the player in Strudwick. Tackled there was Shaw. Packer players converge along. Handball there by Maloney. Tackled low, was tackled for that VAFA. Clever kick out there, and it's a mark being taken by Earl Shaw, who's taken a mark just inside the forward 45 here at Sports Cover Arena. Earl Shaw spent some time on the Sydney Swans AFL list, and he's got the chance to claw AFL Sydney closer into this game. Shaw. Kick from 45. Kick dying on its trajectory. At the bottom of the pack there, Lee spins around, can't get out of trouble there. VAFA play just surrounding him there. They get the handball out. Paddled there cleverly, Tawny got the handball to Beaumont. Coming out there with David Lowe, he's on the half-back line. Lowe kicks out towards Strawn, who's got the ball in the half-back. He handballs it once again. Tawny to Lowe. Lowe keeps paddling it, kicks a soccer kick in front of him. Coming out there for AFL Sydney was with us. Handball there by Keel. Kept in by Williams cleverly there. Lovely tackle by Keel, just speeding into the turf. And we'll have a boundary throw in on the wing here at Sports Cover Arena in front of the grandstand side of the ground.
Yeah, good footy that. That was an excellent tackle from the Sydney boy.
Ball thrown in the air. Winter wins the tap down in front and then volleyball forward by Beaumont. Leading back in the race is Flaherty. Gets it off to Aegis. He probably could have turned towards goal. Didn't. Very selfishly kicked it off to Cam Howard, who is directly in front, 30 metres from goal.
Their build-up for scoring shots is terrific for the VAFA. Very good all day, and I think Aegis has had a tremendous quarter this quarter with some very intelligent play.
He's always got so much time every time he goes near the ball. He's very composed every time he gets it.
Howard lining up for his second. Swinging away left off the boot and goes through just for the one behind. 13-9-87. The amateurs leading AFL Sydney 6-5-41 on the Templestowe television scoreboard. 22 minutes gone in the third term, brought to by Bendigo Bank, East Ivanhoe and Highbury.
Game seemed to be slipping away from AFL Sydney at this stage as Jordan kicks out towards half back, and it's a mark being taken. Quickly play on, going towards the player there in Withers for AFL Sydney, but taken there by Winkley. Tackled there, wrapped up. He couldn't get a kick out there. Played on there by Crichton, who went inside 50, met on the bounce there for AFL Sydney, but McQueen Miss Cam did okay. Snap around the body there by Ben Absalom, and it's only for a minor score though. AFL Sydney go to 6-6-42. I'll tell the AFA it's a 13-9-87.
Ken, I think Luke Wintle can blame his brother for not giving him the shepherd. And he got stuck by holding the ball. So through the middle, the Vicks go. Good kick coming forward.
Evening meal. We'll have a chat about that, I'm sure.
A good mark's been taken by Flaherty out in front. He's been impressive. I haven't seen much of him before. The old Essendon player has kicked 3 goals for the match.
Yeah, he's been very good today.
Doesn't think he's got the carry on this, so gives it off to Aegis. Well, he gave it too much airtime, and Heel had time to come across and spoil it, and then toe poke it toward the boundary line. Needed to be a little bit more direct with the kick. The idea was all right, Ken, but just hung it up in the air too long.
Sort of smells a little bit of being a bit flash, I think, at this stage.
So the tap comes down. Sylvester gets the hand pass off. AFL Sydney try to bang it forward. Gets past Jack Watts. The hand pass comes off to Ryan. Takes a bounce and then bangs it long on the boot. Looking forward, looking for Lee. Couldn't get him. Punch comes away through the middle. Eventually he gets it. McQueen Campbell juggled it from one side to the other. The free kick's being played and now advantage to the Vicks. Again, strong forward and a great mark.
What a beauty.
Must be Bounty again. And did he bound that time? Took the big strides in the lead up and flew high. Strong mark. David Boundy has 3 for the match.
I like the way he holds the ball in the one hand too. It must be a bit giant-sized mitts.
Boundy kicking it to the Glen Huntley road end of Elsternwick Park. The lead currently 45 points, looking to extend it, and he has done so with a goal. David Boundy has his 4th. The amateurs 14-9-93, AFL Sydney 6-6-42, and Templestowe television scoreboard deep into this third quarter.
Well, you're quite right, Joe. It is his 4th goal, but it's the 3rd one that he's kicked this quarter. So he's had a sensational quarter, but gee, what a great mark that was. Clean hands, very strong into the pack, and just one grab, and boy, you'd like to see players do that.
Back in the middle.
Not if you're from the other side, of course.
Back in the middle, umpire throws the ball up. Withers has been sent into the ruck for AFL Sydney, but he lost that time. Coming out there, Beaumont, swung around his right foot, sent it inside attack, looking towards the player there, and Williams couldn't take the mark, ball went over his head. Players there screaming for holding the ball, and the umpires paid it.
Oh no, he's paying it to them.
Yep, paying it to the VAFA team.
Well, I don't know about that.
Contentious decision here at Sports Cover Arena, but it's resulted in a free kick to the player in Luke Wintle, who's been very good this afternoon for the VAFA representative side.
Well, he's had a lot of mates from the representative side from the VAFA because they've all got into the action somewhere along the way.
Wintle lining up for his 3rd goal of the afternoon, but he's just set it to the right-hand side of the goalpost for a minor score, so that the AFA moved to 14-10-94 to the AFL Sydney 6-6-42 on the Templestowe television scoreboard.
So AFL Sydney bring it straight down the middle. The kick has found Ryan on the chest. Looks to play on. The outer side of the ground, heads it to a one-on-one on the wing. AFL Sydney have numbers now in support, but again the boundary line beats them on that outer side of the ground.
I'd like to know the stats on how many times the ball's been out of bounds on that side of the ground today.
When it goes over there, it does seem to find its way to the boundary line. The umpire throws it in, ball comes over the back. Players hit the deck, trying to break free of the tackle is Tarquin, but he's not going anywhere, so the umpire will come in to ball it up.
It's shaping up to be a dark night too. Well, most nights are.
It's very poetic, Ken. The margin 52 points here in favour of the Vics at Sports Cover Arena. And again, it's found its way to the boundary line on the outer side of the ground. Late in this third term, brought to you by Bendigo Bank, East Ivanhoe and Heidelberg, ticking over 28 minutes. Ball thrown in, goes over the back of the head of both ruckmen, but the umpires found a free kick and then says advantage in AFL Sydney's direction. So a chance to go forward. Mark not taken in front, very close checking. A quick kick comes from the pack. Last man back in defence, couldn't get a hand in either, but it doesn't matter that it went over Paul Winchell's head because it was through for just the one behind. AFL Sydney 6-8-44, the VAFA 14-10-94.
Very one-sided quarter this has been for the VAFA. It's something like about 13 shots to 4, as I see it. That's right. Strong.
Final stages, third quarter. On the wing, the ball now. Shane Ryan for the AFL Sydney trying to bustle his way through a pack of players. Ball not getting out of this pack here, and the umpire will have to ball it up.
Gee, well, look, you know, that ball should have been cleared several times there by AFL Sydney, and it was just the persistence of the VAFA players who just wouldn't give it away. And they were coming from a long way behind there, a long way away from where the ball was.
Watts easily won the tap down there. Got the handball there from Tawney. Got a kick out. Coming out to meet the ball there is the player in Luke Williams. And Simon's been in the VAFA in their scoring attempts. So three-quarter times the VAFA 14-10-90 for AFL Sydney 6-7-43.
So a big margin here at three-quarter time. The amateurs in control. After the break, though, Ken will give us summations of that third turn. Making their way off the ground. Damian, we talked earlier, it's a quiet crowd. There's a few people here, but perhaps a number of neutral supporters.
Well, yeah, that was exhibited when VAFA scored one of the goals. There was not many crowd noises around the ground, and it was a bit hard to see whether they kicked the goal or not. So many of them probably just supporting their family members in their respective sides and not supporting the whole team as a whole, maybe.
Yeah, it is. They're sort of quiet. Usually this number of people, you'd hear a few more cheers. The last turn, brought to you by McDonald's Family Restaurants, is underway. Damian, Tardio, take it away.
And from the bounce, ball out there to Simpson, who got the handball over the top to David Lowe, who got this kick smothered there. Coming through there was Rowan Lilly for the AFL Sydney. He's wrapped up in a tackle, and that's been the case all afternoon. Just AFL Sydney players going for the ball, but VAFA representative players just tackling hard and getting the ball off there. Coming off the ball up, whistle blown, free kick to the VAFA side. Umpire said play on, but it's been brought back. So Dowd for VAFA. Got the handball over the top to Cameron Howard. He sent a long ball towards the top of the goal square. AFL Sydney have the numbers there. Shaw mops up with a sweeping handball over the top to Matt Edmonds. Edmonds kicks out to no one in particular there. It's between Miss Campbell for the VAFA. You got the handball over the top of Bolden, who kicked it to the leading player in Jack Watts. So terrific play there by the VAFA. They capitalise on a miss kick AFL Sydney, which resulted in a shot at goal in the early stage of this first quarter, brought to you by McDonald's Family Restaurants. AFA 14-10-94 lead AFL Sydney 6-7-43. Comfortable margin at this stage of the game, one would say. as Jack Watts kick won't make a distance. Punched away by a defender there at the bottom of the pack was there. David Linson for AFL Sydney got the kick high up and under. Play just wait for it to come down. Punched away there by Mark Egan for the AFL Sydney to the advantage of Chris Jordan. Got the handball kick away rather towards the player Matt Withers. He turned around, handballed it. Play slipping over all over the place on the outer side there, which resulted in a holding the ball decision going towards the AFL Sydney team, the VAFA team rather. So Simpson has it on half back. Decides to switch play where he's got Tom Maloney on his own in the middle. He takes the mark and decides to go towards 2-on-1, whereas Mark in front is the AFL Sydney player and Jeremy Gill.
Haven't seen that much this afternoon, Ken. The defenders outmarking the amateur forwards, but the ball's been turned over through the mud. Luke Wintle with a little toe poke, doesn't go exactly where he wants it, but low with the bandage around his head, gets the hand pass off, looking for Williams, perhaps held as Ken suggested. The ball's been turned over. AFL City with a chance to clear through heel, can come to this near side of the ground in front of commentary box. The players will have to fly. Punch comes from Howard near the boundary line. AFL City player slips over, gives Williams a chance, pokes it forward, has Lowe. Lowe's got a couple of options, taking his time. He's got two here to choose from, and in the end gets it to Strawn, who gets the hands off. A bang bang comes for goals. Baldwin, and he's put it through. So Baldwin joins the goal kicking list. They've hit the ton, the amateurs, 15-10-100 to AFL Sydney 6-7-43. Now the game might be over, Ken, but your work isn't going to finish because we need to pick an Old England hotel, best on ground for the VAFA this afternoon. Now you picked it in the under-19, so your warm-up was good.
It's got a hard task this afternoon.
It is a hard task.
Thank you, Joe. Nice of you to both step away from it.
We trust you, Ken. We trust you.
Ball back in the middle. Winslow went up there, got a kick away. He was slung after he kicked it there. Leading in the race there was Matt Edwards for the AFL Sydney. Handball out low, leads in the race there. Coming out there was Simpson. He was tackled when he didn't have it. Umpire didn't see it, but it was blindsided. Kick away by AFL Sydney there. Crichton leads in the race, but seen over the boundary line by Cameron Howard.
He was tackled so hard there, Tommy Simpson, I think the bloke's pulled his shoulder out. He certainly didn't have the thought. It looks a bit uncomfortable.
Ball spinning back into play. Shaw got the tap down there, but only as far as Dowd. He fed the handball out. Coming out was Howard. Got the handball at Zimbacks. He stopped and propped for a moment, went towards the GS. May have been taken high. No, said the umpire, but the VAFA have it there. Kicked there by Strawn inside the 45. That's a fantastic mark. It's a Jack Watts. Those contested marks, he's taken quite a few of them this afternoon. And he's been a headache up there for the AFL Sydney defenders.
A headache every part of the ground, I think, Jack. A big game from him.
Watts for his second. Umpire moves a long way, but he's kicked it though, so the VAFA moves to 16-10-106. To the AFL Sydney 6-7-43.
Well, Jack Watts has been a sensational player today. He's had a number of mates from the VAFA side. You would just hope that, obviously it's beyond our side to win this game, even at this early stage of the last quarter, but you would hope that they would fight the game out and see some of their better performed players perhaps perform better in this last quarter.
So the margin blown out to 63 points. 5 minutes or 6 minutes into the last term. Brought to you by McDonald's Family Restaurant. Simpson again from the middle. He gets hands off to Baldwin. He gets the hands further to Strawn. Strawn, one in the chain too many. It's been turned over in AFL Sydney's direction. They have a chance on the outside of the ground. There's two of them here. Pick it up. You might be right, Ken. They somehow keep it in. A little bit messy, but they've gone the 1-2 and a kick to send them forward. Ball goes over the leading player's head, but back in the race, AFL Sydney first one to get on. This is a good kick, this clever kick into the goal square. Absalom has taken the mark.
Well, they worked very hard to get the ball up there and deserve a result. it's always hard to play for. I played them many years ago in games like this where you're getting a hell of a tanning and it's hard to keep your concentration up and keep having a go. They're doing that.
So Absalom has popped it through, so they get another one on the board. It's only their 7th, however. They're 7-7-49, trailing the amateurs 16-10. 106. It wasn't pretty. The final kick was good though, Ken.
Oh yes, well, you know, I mean, you've got to give credit to them for keep pumping away at it. You know, I mean, it looked very messy over there on the far side. I think there were probably about 8 or 9 handballs in that little build-up, and they were all putting the player on the receiving end of the handball under a lot of pressure. But the end result was good, and let's hope that they fight the game right out to the end.
Back in the middle, the result may be a foregone conclusion though, but the AFL Sydney want to get a couple more goals to put a bit of respectability back on the scoreboard. Out of the middle of the ground, handball out there, coming there through was the player in Zimbaks. Went towards Aegis, went over his head, picking up the ball was flattering, he couldn't get it. He fumbled it there, he's still fumbling it there though. Coming out there was Dowd. Got the handball to Aegis, he got the handball to player in Howard. Howard decided to go inboard. He's got 2 they can raffle it. Wintle with the ball now. This is Luke Wintle decides to go towards the fat side of the ground. Though the player there is Declan Donahue for the AFL Sydney. He's tackled there, got the handball out for his ball. AFL Sydney off the half-back line. Free player there on the wing there is Damian Bowles. Goes further up the ground. Lovely punch there by McQueen. Miss Cameron will have a boundary throwing it right half forward for the AFL Sydney side.
Sensational to see the tackling that's being applied right now as it was at the beginning of the game, you know, with a big distance between the sides. I thought that was a terrific piece of play.
Ball spinning back into play, Rucks go at it. At the back of the pack there was the player in Vincent. Couldn't get it, but the VAFA win it. String of handballs there, they go through the centre of the ground. There's a player all on his own there. Aegis. Clever little soccer kick, considering it's World Cup month. Very, very clever there. And we'll have a free kick awarded to the player in Chris Jordan. He got the handball to Matt Edwins. Decided to go back to the other side of the ground, but straight to Grant Bolden for the VAFA.
A lot of the ball, isn't it?
Certainly has. Gets it in towards Down. The captain go further and hits another man on the chest. Quickly gets a hand pass off Williams, looking for Tyquin. He has to spin one way then the other, stops and props. In the end, just pokes it over the top, looking for boundary. The punch comes over the top near the boundary line. And you think AFL Sydney would be happy to see it go over. No, they're trying to keep it in. No, in the end, decide that the boundary is the best option after all. Outer side of the ground, 9 minutes gone the last turn, brought to you by McDonald's Family Restaurants. The amateurs 106, AFL Sydney 49. The Ammo's totally in control here in Elsternwick Park. And the ball up ensues on the outer side of the ground. Number of stoppages this afternoon. The ruck's really been dominated by the Vicks. And again, Wintle wins it down, but AFL Sydney get the takeaway. 1 bounce, 2 bounce. They're on the outer side of the ground. A chance to go forward. The kick doesn't look too bad, but it's a 2-on-1. And back towards the boundary line, leading in the race is Latko, but can't keep it in front of Paul Wintle.
Just ticked over 10.5 minutes in this final quarter. For McDonald's Family Restaurants, as the umpire throws the ball back in on the AFL Sydney half-wall line, but it's won there by Zimbaks, who kicks it out on the wing, but only as far as the AFL Sydney played there. On centre wing, he's got Bot Noonan screaming from the middle, but he decides to go further up the ground, but he's turned the ball over and it's found James Beaumont. Goes towards Tyquin, he takes the mark. Defensive side of centre wing on the outside of the ground. He goes to leading player in Luke Williams, who plays on immediately, goes to Strawn, punched away there by Jordan. Coming there was Shane Ryan. Players go in there, umpire says play on, just lets it go. The ball's not coming out though, so he's going to have to come and ball it up.
Ken, good umpiring today. You haven't noticed any difference between the AFL Sydney umpires or the amateur umpires?
Been very good. And again, you know, consistency is the key to it when you're sitting umpire. I spoke about that with Brian Goodman at half time. did the same thing. Done a good job.
From the ruck contest, and up and under kick found Williams, who then went on and kicked it inside 45, but Kieran right there for AFL Sydney, hopping up in defence, goes towards his player in Edmonds, who marks in front of David Lowe, in front of the Sports Cover Arena sign. He kicks towards half forward, but it has gone out of bounds on the full.
Boundary again, Joe. Is there something about it?
There were 3 players here, but the boundary run out. So there must be something about your theory, Ken.
Oh, I don't know whether it's a theory or just looking at the time just went out.
Free kick was taken, but it was turned over. Kick goes towards the player in Rowan Bilkey. He played on. So Flaherty has the ball now. He pops the ball up, and he's got Tyke when he plays on, steps aside his opponent, and kicks it inside. Then he's found Boundy on the lead. He's kicked 4 this afternoon, and he's had a day out. The AFA, they lead by 57 points on the Central Vic self-storage scoreboard as David Boundy of Paradians is lining up for his 5th goal of the afternoon. Distance won't be a problem as he kicks. Looks good off the boot, and he's kicked his 5th goal for the afternoon. So that sends the VAFA to 17-10-112. The AFL Sydney 7-7-49, and we're travel with 13 minutes in the final quarter for McDonald Family Restaurants.
It's all amateur football here. The Vics really taking control in this last term. AFL Sydney have only kicked 7 goals for the match. 7-7-49. The amateurs 17-10, 112. Back in the middle, back in the mud. The quick kick again goes in Vic's way. That was thanks to Lowe. Out towards the wing. Trying to tap it to a teammate was Lowcock. Couldn't quite. Ended up with Spiteri, who gets the hands off. Has players loose. The short kick comes and finds Wotton Noonan. Gets the quick hands off. This is better. Faster forward for us. It's ended up in the hands of Absalom.
Well,
the quick ball movement, Ken. That was much better.
That's about the first time that they've been really direct too. You know, straight up the ground. Players running past to take the hand pass. More of that would have seen a big difference in the scoreboard, I think.
So Absalom has kicked 1 goal for the term. He's only for the match. This for his 2nd. Directly in front, Glenn Huntley, road end of Elsternwick Park, and that's this to the left. Should have kicked that one, Ken. Directly in front.
Yes, it should have been that big score. You know, when things are not going right, nothing does go right. That's when you start to do some good things in terms of the build-up.
The AFA lead by 62 points, and a long kick from the kick-in goes towards McQueen. Miss Campbell, who's at the back of the pack, read it well, went towards half forward. AFL Sydney have the numbers. Coming there, sharking it was Rowan Bilkey. Went along with the left kick and he found Spiteri, who played on immediately. He went towards his player in Wells, but it was a lovely mark there taken by Jack Watts, cutting it off. He's been everywhere this afternoon. He got the kick over the top to Perkins, who found Tyquin. He went back to Perkins, and he just decides to send it towards half forward. VAFA have the number. Beaumont flying over the top. I think he may have given away a free kick for hands in the back. Trying to take the mark of the day. Results in the free kick to the AFL Sydney team. Rowan Bilkey with the ball. Switches across the face of goal. Dangerous there. Went over the top of Winslow's head. Kicked away there by Wright. He found his teammate in Mark Egan. Egan for the AFL Sydney. Defensive side of the centre square. Short kick didn't find its intended target. Now on the bounce was Rowan Bilkey, and it's been wrapped up in the mud here at Sports Cover Arena, with the VAFA leading by 62 points on the Central Vic self-storage scoreboard.
So ball up in the mud. Watts arrives late but wins a tap down ahead of Shaw. Not going anywhere. The umpire's found a free kick. It's going in the amateurs' direction, and it's going to Baldwin. The old Carey player bangs it long from the mud. Players will have to fly. No mark taken. Ball spills to the front. Martin couldn't pick it up. Players dive on, and the umpire will have to come in and ball it up. On the 40-metre arc, scoreboard end of the ground. The way the Vics are heading in this last term, brought to you by McDonald's Family Restaurants. The quick kick comes out of the pack by Linson for AFL Sydney. Mark taken. The two big guys could have raffled it. Perkins ends up with it. Half forward line will go towards the middle. Finds Strawn. Strawn will try to hit up a target forward. Just goes short. Finds Lowe. Strapping around his face from an earlier knock. Pokes it inside 50. No one can take it on the full. Hits the deck along with Wintle. AFL City trying to get the hand pass out, but it only went as far as Martin. It's been turned over. Strawn bangs it on the boot. Looking for Wintle, couldn't take the mark near the bound line and over on the outer side of the ground. 17 minutes gone in this last term. Margin is 62 points in favour of the Amateurs. There's going to be a clean sweep this weekend. 3 games, 3 wins. I'm not sure if that's happened before, Ken. I'll have to ask those at the top of the food chain.
Not sure about that.
They'll be pretty happy with the way this weekend's gone. On the outer side of the ground, AFL Sydney have turned it over. Weight of numbers from the Vicks, and they'll look to clear through the middle, through down.
I think we might have had 3 defeats. I'm serious. I think they might have had. It's a big turnaround for the AFA this year.
The ad played on, he was put off the ball, so the AFL Sydney moved it forward, but only as far as the edge of the mud heap here at Sports Cover Arena. It just ticked over 18 minutes in the 4th quarter for McDonald's Family Restaurants. As the Rucks go at it, coming out there was Pikeman, got the short kick away, but only as far as Kieran Wright, who sends AFL Sydney into attack, but only as far as McQueen miscammed. Got the quick handball off to Tom Maloney. Maloney got the ball back. He handballs towards the player in Trent Zimbacks. Players all over the place here. Maloney got the handball out. Quick kick there by Watts. Went to Boundy. Boundy picked it up on the bounce. He sends the kick inside 45. And it's a lovely mark taken there by Flaherty. Oh, I can't say that name properly.
It is a hard one. It's unusual.
Flaherty. We'll just go with that for now. He's kicked 3 for the afternoon. Prominent early. Haven't seen him for a while though now.
Yes, he's had a pretty big game. And he's finishing on. That's what you'd love to see, isn't it? The player's been outstanding in the early part of the game.
He kicks, and he is kicked truly. So the AFA moved to 18-10, 118. AFL Senior 7-8-50, and that's Daniel Flaherty's 4th goal for the afternoon.
Yes, he's been a very, very strong contributor for the side right through the afternoon. Whether he gets the award or not.
I don't think he'll get it, Ken. I don't think he'll be in your top.
I'm still working on it.
Going to have to be here up till after hours working out here at 3 to 1 2.
The margin is 68 points, and even the Vic fans hardly cheered that one through the way this game has gone. It's certainly over. Just playing for pride now, AFL Sydney. The Vicks enjoying themselves out there. No, they're going to take away the big win and perhaps a chance to get another one on the board. Perkins shoots it forward, hands off to Lowe. Lowe can have a shot on goal, starts it wide, it stays wide, and just through for the one behind. Victorian Amateurs 18-11, 119 lead. AFL Sydney 7-8-50 on the Central Vic self-storage scoreboard. 20 minutes into this last term, brought to you by McDonald's Family Restaurants. And AFL Sydney, Damian, I think would be happy to hear the siren.
Yes, they would be. So, though there's still time left to make the scoreboard look a bit more respectable, but they've been outplayed today by a very well polished VAFA side. As the ball's on the wing now, Jack Watts takes the mark, goes over to Tyquin.
He must be on your list somewhere, Ken.
Oh, I think that's about mark 504. Well, something like that. You've been to ask the question about that.
Strawn kicked inside 50 and he's found a teammate, and I think it may be Flaherty once more. He kicks over the top and he's found James Beaumont, who's taken a mark about 35 metres out from goal, directly in front. James Beaumont of Old Melburnians hasn't kicked a goal this afternoon, lining up for his first of the afternoon. He kicks, and he kicks straight as well, so he's kicked his first, and that brings the AFA to 19-11, 125 to the AFL Sydney 7-8-50 on a Central Vic self-storage scoreboard.
it's been a great performance for the VAFA team today. Disappointing one from AFL Sydney, of course. But 3 wins from 3 games, from rep games. The flags will be flying high tonight. I might have a jar on the base of that.
And Dean Anderson, who's coached some very close ones, and this one is a blowout. Been relaxing after 3/4 time, really, but AFL Sydney still putting in the effort, and a good tackle by Wotton Noonan has won himself the free kick and a chance to go forward. The mark taken, a good mark. The big man Shaw stuck the dukes up and it stayed in.
Yes, well, they could have done more of that from the big fella in the early part of the game.
Yeah, wasn't as sure of hands as the Watts or Wintle. Often got to it but couldn't quite snaffle it in.
I mean, it's interesting to look at like a 17-point lead at the halfway mark was not something that you could call the game over in, but gosh, the margin now has exploded, hasn't it?
So Shaw, who's been in the ruck and also played up forward, didn't look great off the boot. It's really only just snuck in for the one behind.
Some games up back.
Stephen Kernan, helicopter kick there. As from the kick in, Baldwin goes short and finds Paul Wintle. In the long sleeves, he goes out to the outer side of the ground as the ball's been all afternoon pretty much.
Back the boundary.
Tawny there, trying to paddle on. He runs the ball there. McQueen Miss Campbell comes in, the boundary rings out once again. From the outer side of the ground, that boundary.
Amazing. It's like a magnet.
So the boundary umpire throws the ball back in. Rucks go at it. Watts got the tap down. Coming through is Ryan. Whistle's gone. Holding on, and it's an AFL Sydney free kick. Too far out to score. He'll just try to send them inside attack. He's called to play on. He kicks it to the edge of the square. And it's a lovely mark taken there by Matt Withers. And of all the negatives for the AFL Sydney side this afternoon, I think this guy's presented well up forward for them. He hasn't kicked a goal there this afternoon, but he's created a contest up there and someone to kick to when they've had the ball out in space. So Withers to kick from just outside 45. He kicks, won't make a distance there. May have been a mark taken. Ball spilt down on hands and knees, and the umpire signals a boundary throwing to be taken in the left forward pocket for the AFL Sydney side. Ball spinning back into play. Tapped down there by Watts. Coming through there was Tawny, got the handball. The Dunnies well here. Coming through is Baldwin. He kicks out to space. Tyson is 2 to beat. He won't get there in time. Strudwick there. He turns around and he kicks, and he's found Alex Lee. Lee, the only multiple goal kicker on the ground for the AFL Sydney side. He's in the middle of the ground so at this moment. He's signalling for someone to make a lead to him. Someone comes to him now. He's on the half-forward line there. Quick kick around the body there. It was scrubby there by Wright. Coming through for the AFL Sydney side was Withers. Couldn't take it. Handball by Fahari. Coming through the hip and shoulder there, and we'll have a ball up just on the centre square here at Sports Cove Arena.
So the margin 74 points deep into the last term, brought to you by McDonald's Family Restaurants. We're on the half-forward line for AFL Sydney, but it's the Vicks who clear through time. A booming kick going forward. Another mark taken, another contested mark taken in the forward line, which really has been the story of the day, and it's Flaherty. He's got 4 already. Just the one grab, Ken. Strong hands.
Very good. I mean, and again, I emphasise that the players that are playing on at the end of the game, when the game's been over for almost a quarter, and they're attacking the ball with the same ferocity that they showed right at the beginning of the game.
So Flaherty, a chance to kick a bag of 5. Doesn't look too bad off the boot. Goal umpire doesn't have to work very much, and he's got it. So Flaherty has 5, along with Boundy for the Vicks, who also has 5. They're 20-11, 131 to AFL Sydney 7-9-51. On the Central Vic self-storage scoreboard,
a margin of 80 points. This is turning into a massive blowout, Ken.
Yes, and I don't know what can you say about it. It's been sensational with the VAFA side. I mean, wonderful backing up in their play too. There's always somebody running past it to take the handball, and they're willing to play on at all costs. And their back line has been sensational as well.
Back in the centre of the ground, players converge on the ball. Coming through there was Lowcock. Couldn't get the handball out. Spinning out trouble there was Lee. Gets solidly there. Coming through for AFL Sydney, kick was Bilkey. Goes towards full forward. Lovely mark there, taken by Tawney though. In front of his opponent. Tawney goes to the outer side of the ground. Kick up there by the player in Zimbabwe. He's found Tyquin on the outer side wing. He goes towards half forward, looking towards Guy Martin. Picks it up on the bounce. Can't shrug the tackle. Maybe holding the ball, and the umpire signalled holding the ball, so the AFL Sydney will get a free kick. They play on quickly, and silence sounds as they play on. So the scoreboard shows the VAFA 2011-131 come out big winners over the AFL Sydney 7-9-51 by 80 points this afternoon at Sports Cover Arena.
Yeah, it certainly was a huge win to the amateurs. The siren really just put AFL Sydney out of their misery. It was the amateurs here by 80 points. Stay tuned. We'll have summations and Ken's better players following this break on 96.5 in your FM football.
Congratulations not only to the players and the coaches and all the staff that are concerned with it, but the whole competition reaps the benefit of something like that happening. So well done to the VAFA and everybody concerned.
We might get Damian just to go through the goal kickers for the match. Of course, the amateurs had a few.
Yeah, well, they had 10 individual goal kickers. We start with Daniel Flaherty and David Boundy with 5 apiece. Then we go down to Jack Watts and Luke Wintle, both kicked 2 goals, while single goal kickers were Cameron Howard, Luke Williams, James Beaumont and Grant Baldwin. And for the AFL Sydney, Alex Lee was the only multiple goal kicker with 2 goals, while all singles to Daniel Spiteri, Absalom, Crichton, Edwards and Bowles.
Now, Ken, let's get to your better players. I could probably have a guess who you've got as your number 1, but there were certainly plenty of good players for the amateurs this afternoon.
Well, probably known pretty close to a dozen before you get to the part of the other side. How big the margin was, what they did for the home side, lose not to be in order.
In no particular order?
In random order, right? I thought Grant Baldwin played a pretty home side, particularly in the early part of the game where he was an outstanding contributor. Daniel Flaherty, that Jeff mentioned, was terrific right through to the finish of the game. Other players that stood out were Jack Watts, Luke Wintle, David Boundy. I thought Lachlan McQueen, Miss Campbell, who takes me 5 minutes to get the name out, but I thought he did a great job. Daniel Storm was